Hello everyone and welcome to Easy Arabic. So if this is your first time on this channel, make sure that you're interested in learning Arabic, make sure that you watch the first lesson about Nahwa. In the previous lesson, we were looking at the definition of kalam, right? From the linguistic perspective and also from the grammarian's perspective. But the formula that we gave there was al-kalamu huwa al-lafdhu al-murakkabu al-mufidu bil-wad'i. Right? So the kalam has to be something that is being said, that has a sound made of the huruful hija'i. Those are the alphabetical letters of Arabic, alif, ba, ta, ila, ya. And then murakkabu, made of two or more words, al-mufidu, that has a meaning, it's not a nonsense sentence, and also bil wad'i, that is, it follows also, it is in the Arabic and follows the structure of Arabic. So then we looked at aqsamul kalam, and we said that it has three parts: al-ism, wal-fi'l, wal-harf. Right, so I'm just giving you a brief definition. So today I'm looking at ad-darsu thani, alamatul ism. What are the things that will help me know that whatever I'm given is a noun? If it's in English or even any language, you know that names of people are always noun. Names of people are always noun. So whether it's Paul, it's Jack, it's Peter, it's Abdullahi, it's Salman, those are nouns for sure. Names of things, a fork, a spoon, those are nouns. Names of places, for example, Chipotle, Subway, right? Burkina Faso, where I'm from, the country that you're from, that's a noun. Mecca, Medina, right? So those are nouns. And you also have names of animals, right? So anything that doesn't have any connection, it's not attached to the time, mostly it's a noun. So now you have nouns, and then you also have prepositions and articles and all of that. But here I'm looking at al-ism. So he said fal-ismu. So if you see, start with fa. So that is, he's about to go in details, because in the previous lesson he defined the different parts of the kalam. Now he's about to give more explanation. Fal-ismu yu'rafu, it's known. Passive voice, we have active voice and passive voice. Yu'rafu, as we move on, we'll know how to make active voice and passive voice in Arabic. Yu'rafu bil khafdi wa tanwini wa dukhuli al alifi wal lami. Let's go step by step. So here we have bil khafdi. So you will either see khafdi, all right, or you will see jar, right, bil jar. So that is that the end, any word that you will see with kasra. So khafdi means it has kasra at the end. It has kasra at the end. So that means it's a noun. For example, kitabin, kitabin. Does it have kasra? Yes, it has kasra. You see? So we have fatha, kasra, and dhamma, right? Below the word. Kasra. Jar, I can give you another example. Alifi, for example, this one. Alifi, it has kasra. So I know this is a noun. Dukhuli, it's a noun. Lami, it's a noun. Khafdi, here. Khafdi is a noun. Why? Because I see the kasra. Tanwini, it's a noun too. Why? Because I see the kasra. So this is pretty much about khafdi. Tanwini. Tanween. Where did tanween come from? So if you look at the masdar, tanween, nawwana, yunawwinu, tanweenan. That is, there is noon in there at the end. Noon sakin at the end. So instead of, for example, if I give you kitabun, okay, I will write kitabun. This is kitabun. So instead of writing this noun, they found an easier way of having this noun. You don't see it, but when you say it, you say it, but you don't see it. You say it, but you don't see it. Kitabun. So instead of having this, they said have two dhamma. So tanween, if you remember, two fatha, two kasra, and two dhamma. That's tanween. So whenever I see tanween, I know right away it's a noun. Right away it's a noun. Let's take an example. Another example. Maktabun. Maktabun. Is it a noun? Yes. How do you know? Tanween. Those two. So either it's in, an. In, an. Then you know right away what you're facing is a noun. One thing that I want to add about tanween is that tanween comes with the article. It's going to come with the article a. So when you say kitabun, right? So that's what, in English, that's a book. But you see that you don't have two words. You only have one word, kitabun. So then some of you guys may be like, well, where is the A then? See, if this is book, where is the A coming from? The tanween is gonna come with the A. As they said, one stone for two birds, or two birds, one stone. A book, tanween comes. Qalamun. Okay? Qalamun. That's a pen. So the tanween is gonna come with the article a. A pen. A book. A pencil. Right? Kitabun. Qalamun. I can't think of anything right now. Jawalun. A phone. Right? Then, so we did khafdi wa tanweeni. So here, if you look, for example, if I give you kitabin, let's say I give you kitabin. So you see that I have both of the signs. I have kasra, and I also have tanween. So it's not, I don't want you to think that all of those are separate. So when you see khafd, for example, you will not see tanween. Or when you see tanween, you're not going to see khafd. Does that make sense? So when you see it, there are some of these that you can see at the same time, but there are some that you will not see. Now we enter into wadukhuli al-alifi wal-lami. So if you see that khafdi, tanweeni, دخول ألف الألف واللام. So دخول ألف واللام. Okay, ألف واللام. So in English, if I say the, what do you expect after that? You cannot expect a verb. It's not possible. It's not possible to expect a verb. I cannot, for example, say the coming. I can say the coming, but that's not a verb in this position. Does that make sense? So as long as I see the in Arabic and in English, makes sense. As long as I see the in English, I'm expecting a noun right away. I'm expecting a noun. So that's the same as, so the in Arabic is alif, lam, alif, lam. So once I see alif, lam, and the word alif, lam can be connected to a word, know that that word is a noun. Because I cannot connect the, for example, in English, I cannot connect the to a verb, the understand. Maybe I meant they understand. But if it's the, then maybe it has to be the understanding. And in this case, understanding is not a verb. I can use, I am understanding, I can use it. But that's when you're looking at the different rules in English. So al. So as long as I can add alif and lam to a word, then I know it's a noun. For example, al kitabu. Al kitabu. I know right away that kitabu is a noun. Right away. Pretty simple. Why? Because I saw this guy here. I saw alif wal lam. So alif wal lam. So if alif wal lam is connected to a word, that word must be a noun. There is no other option. Does that make sense? One thing that I want you to see here. Tanween and alif wal lam, they cannot be in the same place at the same time. It's not possible. It's like Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry. So if Tom is here, maybe Jerry is gonna come and play around and run, but they cannot be together. Tom and Jerry, cats and dogs. So that brings us to definite and indefinite. So tanween is indefinite. It's not specific. If I say a book, I'm reading a book. It can be any book. But if I say I'm reading the book, then it's more specific. It's the definite. Definite. Does that make sense? So maybe if I say I'm reading the book, then you know, maybe you have an idea of the book that I'm reading. Or I mentioned the book before. If I say I'm reading I started reading this book. It's pretty interesting. And now I'm reading the book. So it's referring. So that's definite. But if I say a book, that's indefinite. So if someone decides to, for example, say, okay, ar-rajulu, let's say. Ar-rajulu. If someone does this, it's a mistake. You have to correct that person. Or if it's you, correct yourself. Yeah, correct yourself. Make sure you don't make such mistakes. So again, tanween and alif wal lam, cats and dogs. They cannot be in the same place. So you cannot have a word that is definite and indefinite. It's not possible. It's either black and white. Not trying to be racist, but anyway, that's the whole alif واللام. So I decided to have those three. We have other two. That's when you're looking at حروف الجر, right? حروف القسم. So I decided to have those two in the second part of the video. But this is mostly about the first part. فالاسم يعرف بالخفض والتنوين ودخول الألف واللام. Okay, so now I can, right, if I give you this, ra, okay, ra'ayta rajulan. Where is the noun? The noun is here. Well, how do you know, Mr. Tanween? Simple. خفض تنوين دخول الألف واللام. For خفض, as we move along, as we go further, we'll understand that sometimes, even some rare cases. So here I would say that 99%, as long as you see خفض, it's a noun. But there are cases, there are verbs that will have kasra at the end. You have verbs when you conjugate them, right? Depending on the number of person, because in Arabic you have this third part. In English it's either one or more, but in Arabic it's one, two, or more. So if it's two, then that's where it's gonna become interesting. You see خفض again, but I don't want to go deep into that. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. But for now, set up your brain. فالاسم يعرف بالخفض والتنوين ودخول الألف واللام. Let's look at the next part.